Yeah, the fanatic. Well, we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina, upstate, A64. Yeah, TFANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what.
Welcome into the FanX Sports Channel for sports fans by sports fans. It's your boy, Coach I, man, and I got the stat guy with me. What's up, stat guy?
Hey, what's good, Coach? You know, just over here living my best delusional South Carolina fan life.
Hey, man, listen, that's right. We talking about them Gamecocks this time around, man. Hey, college football wild weekend. You guys played without Marshawn Lloyd. Let's just do a quick wrap up, man, from this last week. Like I say, y'all beat Vandy 38-27. I mean, Vandy tried to. It's like every time y'all scored a touchdown, y'all got a multiple touchdown lead, but every time from there, it's like every time y'all scored, Vandy would score. They was trying to make it a game, but you guys held them at bay without Marshawn Lloyd. On the other side, the Gators took down Jimbo and the Aggies. Now Jimbo is 3-6 in the SEC, man. So. And one of those games left is LSU. So Jimbo could easily not go bowling this year. And then Florida is trying to, let's see, is Florida bowl eligible? I think Florida is about to be. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're looking to go bowl eligible this weekend. You guys are already bowl eligible. So this game right here means a lot coming up because of the meaning it has on the SEC East finish. So you guys are right now third in the SEC East. Florida is tied with Kentucky, which means Kentucky holds not tied with Kentucky. I'm sorry, behind Kentucky. Kentucky's 3-3 in the SEC right now, and Florida's 2-4. So Florida's in fifth. But you guys need this game, man, because you got Florida and Tennessee left, and if you lose both of those, you could finish sixth, bro, because Missouri holds the tiebreaker, and Missouri would just have to beat Arkansas. How you feeling about that, stat guy? You can go from third all the way to sixth if you don't win one of these next two games.
Yeah, you know, it's rough, and we've definitely had some growing pains this year, but hey, we're bowl eligible with 3 weeks to play. Technically, my 8-4 is still on the table. My 10-2 is now off the table, but 8-4 is still on the table, man. I mean, win 2 out of your last 3. I'd rather be 6-6 with 3 to play than heading into Clemson at 5-6 trying to go bowl eligible. You know, so there's worse places in the world to be right now. But hey, man, a victory, bowl eligible. Let's just keep the train moving and enjoy the progress.
Yeah, I mean, your last 3 games are this week Florida, next week Tennessee, then Clemson, and those all you got Tennessee at home though, right?
We have Tennessee at home,
so you got to go to the Swamp, get Tennessee at home, then you got to go to Death Valley. So what do you think the chances are? I don't know. Give me both perspectives, delusional and realistic, of those next 3 games.
Well, I said 8-4 at the start of the year was the floor, so I'm gonna stand by that. But nothing that South Carolina football does anymore surprises me, so I wouldn't be shocked with 3 straight losses. But I really think that we're gonna find ourselves in a game with Florida with a chance to win, and I truly believe that this is the year that the streak dies. Tennessee will be tricky. We need a really good showing this weekend in the Florida game to hopefully get that to be a 7:30 kickoff. If we can get Tennessee at night, things could be a whole lot different than if we play them at noon.
Okay, and the streak you referring to is to the Clemson Tigers. They've won 8 straight. All right, so hey, one thing about those numbers is Texas A&M also had won 8 straight before you beat them. So we'll see how it's going to go. Let's talk about this Florida Gators South Carolina matchup in the Swamp at 4:00 p.m. this Saturday. So the South Carolina offense versus that Florida defense. One of the things to look for this week, we haven't had an update from Beamer, but to see if Marshawn Lloyd makes the trip and dresses and plays for the Gamecocks. Yesterday's update, he said they're optimistic So I think it's a big enough game that if he's 80% or better, he's definitely going to play. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think if it wasn't Vandy last weekend, I think we see him play. And I really hate that for Vandy that they get that kind of disrespect. That it's just that team on everybody's calendar. You circle and you're like, as long as we don't all fall off the bus and break our legs, we should beat this team. But they said that he just woke up and on Friday and felt he couldn't go. Um, Honestly, I think if it's a different picture for the season or maybe a different game, I think he tries to push through. So I think we will see him go. Hopefully he's at 100%. But I mean, honestly, with how hot and cold our offensive play calling has been, even if he's a go, it could still only mean like 7 to 10 touches for him, which scares me because that's not the way I think we should run our program.
Yeah, so the last two matchups between y'all and the Gators, man, the Gators took 2020, y'all took 2021. Is that correct?
That's it.
All right, so looking to break the tie here in the last three. I think that South Carolina offense has been anything but consistent. I know they keep saying they want to get Jaheim Bell the ball all these times. And, hey, Marshawn Lloyd was out Saturday, so he got the ball 16 times. I don't know if that's the recipe. I think Jaheim Bell's a good player, but I don't know why they're so fixated on making him the star of the show when it should definitely be Marshawn Lloyd without question. I think they should do some things kind of like Texas did with Bijan this past Saturday. Bijan carried that thing 30 times. I mean, when Marshawn Lloyd is healthy, of course, still get Jaheim Bell the ball, but I've never seen that Debo-esque type talent from Jaheim Bell. And then Florida on defense, man, they got some athletes everywhere. I think you'll look to try to isolate some of the safeties. Trey Dean, I had high hopes for him coming into the year, but he hasn't played that well this year. So we'll see how that offense goes. How are you feeling about Spencer Rattler against this Florida defense?
Yeah, I mean, Spencer hasn't been bad. I mean, he hasn't been the Heisman candidate he was heading into 2021, but he's been a good quarterback for us. He's better than what we had last year. I mean, he wins us some football games. Yeah, he has he's kind of turnover prone, but I mean, still, if you're just looking at his stats, he has the interceptions, but if you watch the games, he doesn't get a whole lot of help on some of those interceptions from his wide receivers. But you mentioned Jaheim Bell got 16 touches. He actually got 19. He rushed the ball for 6.
Okay, and that was it. That was it. 16 in the back rushes.
Yeah, 16 rushes and 3 passes. I'll tell you one thing that I'm expecting from the offense, and we saw it a little bit last week with Vandy, is Dak Joyner is finally healthy. He's been banged up all year long. Fort Dorchester product from the Low Country, and came in as a quarterback recruit and ended up getting moved to wide receiver. Don't be surprised if we see that Wildcat look and we see him back there scrambling. He has a cannon for an arm, but he has the legs to make you miss an open space. And so I would not be shocked to maybe see some type of scheme drawn up to where we see 7 to 10 plays for him at the QB.
Okay, I guess I could see that. Josh Vann last week got a touchdown. Those have been very slim pickings for him, which I don't know why, but hey, y'all got weapons. Whether or not Satterfield chooses to use them, we'll see. Flip over to that Florida offense versus your defense. Florida's definitely got weapons as well, man. Henderson's been coming along at wide receiver. We know what AR can do at quarterback. Honestly, if AR, like when I was watching the game against A&M, whenever A&M collapsed the pocket, it almost like it increased AR's accuracy because he couldn't step into the throw. He's so strong. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times he just puts way too much zip in it. And there's a couple of times where they pushed the pocket. They didn't sack him, but they pushed the pocket, and he couldn't step into the throw. And it was like way more accurate than normal. And then you got, listen, man, Trevor Etienne, man, that dude is very like athletic. He's agile. He's shifty. He can make a lot of plays, man. So, what you think that South Carolina defense going against that offense, man, stopping the Etienne and company?
that's the question mark. I mean, for those that watched the Vandy game or just looked at the stats, Vandy was able to move the ball on us on the ground, and we give up 171 yards a game rushing, which is not good at all, versus a Florida offense that runs the ball at a clip of 209 a game. Obviously, with the dual threat of AR, he can run on you. You have ETN, you have the other running back they have. They kind of have a two-headed monster.
Montreal Johnson. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so with the three of them, man, like we have to stop that run game and force AR to beat us with his arm. If we can stop the run, I really believe we give ourselves a shot to win. If not, this game could get ugly and Florida could have a field day against us.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen, man. Go ahead and let's get to these predictions, man. Give me the spread and the over-under. This is in the swamp. It's 4 o'clock. I think the Florida fans are seeing some of the progress Napier's making. I think for the most part, the Gator Nation is buying in. For the most part, there's some outliers. But what's it looking like on that prediction? On the point spread and the over-under.
Yeah, so the over-under is going to be 53.5. Which is really spot on for what the two defenses give up. Florida gives up 29 points a game. South Carolina gives up 24. So right on par with that. And the spread, Florida is favored by 8 in the swamp.
Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the Gators, man. Like you said, Vandy was able to move the ball on South Carolina. That rush defense hasn't been great. And I think with them having the quarterback of Anthony Richardson's caliber when it comes to that run game, I think it's just going to be a lot. Montreal Johnson is that, he's that all-around back. He's a hammer. He gets the tough yards, and then you got Etienne's just explosive. I think you guys are definitely going to have to match their energy on the road, which I know is hard. And if Marshawn Lloyd doesn't play, to kind of take some of the air out of the ball sometimes, like you said, this thing could get ugly. I got Florida covering, man, 31-21.
All right, I like it. Look, man, I told you back in March, 8-4 was the floor. Had us winning this game back then. Obviously, I think it still holds true. I think the key to this game, for the last couple of videos we've done regarding my Gamecocks, I always say Marshawn Lloyd needs 20 touches. The key this week, I'm telling you right now, watch out for Cinco, number 5, lining up at QB. I am expecting 7 to 10 plays. And look, it could look a lot kind of like the bowl game last year, where if he makes a play early, don't be shocked if we see him kind of take some of the pressure off Spencer and maybe get 10 to 15 plays because of what he's capable of doing with his legs. Especially if Florida's getting a lot of pressure on Spencer. And so I look for Dak Joyner to be the player of the game. I think he's going to have a huge game for us. And I'm picking my Gamecocks to win 34-28 in the swamp.
34-28 by Teddy. Okay. Teddy without the field goal. All right, Florida Gator fans, South Carolina Gamecock fans, man, get in the comments. Let us know what you think and what you think of the SEC East race. Like I say, Florida, this game is big for Florida, currently sitting in 5th. But if they beat South Carolina, they can finish 4th. They would need Kentucky to lose to Vandy and Georgia to have a chance to finish 3rd. But South Carolina definitely is currently sitting in 3rd and could easily finish in 6th if they lose this game and they lose to Tennessee and Missouri wins one of their last 2. So we'll see what shakes out. Leave your score predictions down in the comments. For the stat guy, this is Coach I. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Fanatic, we out of here.
Got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the Fanatic, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state? What team hungry gonna eat everything up off they plate?